I'm Lauri Varman, and this is D News. First up today, an important speech by Herman Pacho on the internationalization of the Amazonia. He gives us humanistic point of view.
Good night, Doctor. I've got a question here. What do you think about the internationalization of the Amazonia? I hope you answer with the vision of a humanist rather than of a Brazilian.
As a Brazilian, I will always argue against internationalizing the Amazon rainforest, even though our government has not given this patrimony the care that it deserves. It is still ours. As humanists who fears the risks of the environmental degradation the Amazon is suffering, I could imagine its internationalization just as I could imagine the internationalization of everything else of importance in the world. If, from a humanist perspective, the Amazon must be internationalized, we should also internationalize the world's petroleum reserve. Oil is as important for well-being of humanity as the Amazon is for our future. The owners of the reserves, however, feel they have the right to increase or decrease the amount of oil production as well as increase or lower the price per barrel. The wealthy of the world feel that they have the right to burn up this immense patrimony of humanity. In much the same way, the wealthy countries' financial capital should be internationalized, since the Amazon rainforest is a reserve for all human beings. No owner or country must be allowed to burn it up. The burning of the Amazon is as serious a problem as the unemployment caused by the arbitrary decisions made by global speculators. We cannot permit the use of financial resources to burn entire countries in a frenzy of speculation. Let's internationalize all the world's children as patrimony of humanity. Before we internationalize the Amazon, I would like to see the internationalization of all the world's great museums. The Louvre should not belong merely to France. The world's museums are guardians of the most beautiful pieces of art produced by the human genius. We cannot let this cultural patrimony, like the natural patrimony of the Amazon, be manipulated and destroyed by whims, or an owner or a country. A short time ago, a Japanese millionaire decided to be buried with a painting by a great artist. That painting should be internationalized before this could happen. The United Nations is holding the Millionaires' Summit parallel to this meeting, but some presidents had difficulties attending due to the United States border crossing constraints because of this. I think that New York, as the headquarters of the United Nations, should be internationalized. At least Manhattan should belong to all humanity, as should Paris, Venice, Rome, London, Rio de Janeiro, and Brasilia receive. Each city with its unique beauty and its history should belong to the entire world, that of humanity. If the United States wants to internationalize the Amazon rainforest to minimize the risk of leaving it in the hands of Brazilians, we should internationalize its nuclear arsenal, if only because the country has already demonstrated it is capable of using these arms, causing destruction dozens of times greater than the deplorable burning down in the forests of Brazil. In their debates, the United States presidential candidates have defended the idea of internationalizing the world's forest reserves in exchange for debt relief. We should begin by using this debt to guarantee that each child in the world has the opportunity to go to school. We should internationalize the children, treating them, all of them, no matter their country of birth, as patrimony that deserve to be cared for by the entire world, even more than the Amazon deserves to be cared. When the world's leaders begin to treat the poor children of the world as patrimony of humanity, they will not let them work when they should be studying, die when they should living. As a humanist, I agree to defend the internationalization of the world, but as long as the world treats me as Brazilian, I will fight for the Amazonia to remain ours alone. Thank you. I hope that answers your question.
A couple of policemen, when in a persecution, the carriers then were followed and disappeared with no reason. This happened in Garden City, Georgia during the morning.
Good morning, everybody. Here we are in our daily press release section, and today we have the mysterious case of a police persecution, and if you want to believe it is paranormal or not, it's up to you. Let's have a look at the video.
We all have seen police persecutions on different TV programs. As a result, we have learned that in the United States of America, most of the police patrols are equipped with a camera on the top of them. This camera allows the police department to record persecutions and even the detention of criminals, to prove the culpability of them or to check if there is an excess of authority. What you're about to see next is exactly that. A police persecution, but with an end which is definitely going to leave you extremely confused and frozen. If you feel like this, try to imagine what the patrolman felt in that moment. Up to this day, this video is the most mysterious capture by a police patrol in the United States, and probably worldwide. It occurred in Garden City, Georgia, during the early morning. The person was driving in an improperly way. He almost crashed the car, and for some instants we can see the face on the person but blurred because of the camera poor resolution. The persecution continues for some minutes, and we can observe that it was difficult for the patrol to follow the car. In this moment, the driver deviates the car and gets into a more secluded area, and what is about to happen is something the patrolman will never forget. The driver turns the car to the left, and when the patrolman does the same in order to continue with the persecution, there was a big fence there. There is not a clear explanation, and we can see how the car is slowly getting away from there into the darkness. The driver was never found.
Now has some opportunities to go abroad. This is the case of Felipe Cifuentes, who had an amazing experience in Jamaica.
Good afternoon. Today I'm with Felipe Cifuentes, a BA in English student who had the opportunity to go abroad and increase his knowledge by being part of the academic life in the University of West Indies, Jamaica. Now he will tell us about the experiences he had, and surely we will know more about his attractive destination. Welcome to Colombia, and thank you for being here sharing some relevant aspects about this exchange. Furthermore, we found out that you belonged to the first group of 5 people that have traveled to Jamaica. So, why did you choose Jamaica for an exchange?
Okay, good afternoon everyone, and to everyone who is watching this TV program, yes, news. Okay, it was an agreement between universities, the University of the West Indies in Jamaica and Universidad de Lima here in Colombia, that is our home university. So, they were asking for 5 students from my university. I didn't choose Jamaica. It was the chance, the opportunity. So I am taking advantage of the opportunities of life. So there were many filters. They analyzed our grades, our average, and we were selected among 25 students.
Yes.
So after knowing that we were going to travel, I started looking for information about the destination, Jamaica, pictures and information, general information about culture and people itself. So that's why I went there to study. But it was my first time abroad.
You got interested because of the images and all the
Yes, so that's why
destinations.
I said to my mom, yes, I want to travel, I want to go. I have to take the risk. So that's why I chose Jamaica.
Jamaica.
Yeah.
It was more like destiny.
Yeah, it was destiny. I think that life played a good game.
Okay, that's so interesting. So now I will want to know, how did you feel when you just arrived to Jamaica?
Wow, that's a hard question because, as I said before, it was my first time abroad. I get homesick. I was missing everything. The first days were tedious. Oh my gosh, I was like crying because there were like many feelings together, sadness and happiness at the same time. So the first day I was excited, but then at night I was in a new bedroom without my mom, without my dog, without everything. So I was like kind of sad. But the places and the environment itself was amazing. I was like, oh, this is
Makes
quite
you feel
different.
like comfortable?
Yes, because the island, like the island's life is different from here in Colombia. So many palms and the people and the way
Nice.
they treated you the first day, wow, just because you are an international student and because you are from another country and you speak another language. So the feeling was,
Really good.
yeah.
Well, now talking more about the differences among culture among Jamaican and Colombian people, how did you manage that cultural shock while interacting with the UWI students?
Okay, I'm not going to talk about US students. I'm going to talk
In general?
about Jamaica in general because they were part of Jamaica. The first thing that happened to me was concerning the homesick.
Yes.
Yes, the first weeks were really hard because I was missing everything: my mom, my family,
Food.
my food, my friends, and many things. And the second one was the language because English is not my native language. So the first day I was like kind of lost. I said, oh no, I know nothing, I don't know English. What I have learned in Colombia is, no, it's not working because their accent, the words they use are different. So that was like a cultural shock. Another thing was the food because I'm used to my food, the food that my grandma cooks. And there they eat a lot of like spicy food, the chicken is spicy, the rice, everything. So that's why I was like, no, I wanna come back. What else? The way they live is weird because they are always partying, they are always drinking, and that's
They're
not
happier
my.
than us.
Yes, so that's not like my lifestyle. They are always drinking and playing dominoes and many sports that we don't have here, like cricket. So I was like, no, this culture is it's not my place. Jamaica is not gonna be my place, but at the end of the day, I didn't want to leave Jamaica.
Yes, let's say that now you would say that there is not Colombian people like that common things that people say that we are the happiest in the world.
No, I think that
Let's say that now it's
no.
Jamaican.
Yes. They are happier than us. Many things. They value friendship. They don't care about how they look. If they are fat, if they are thin, if they are.
We worry more about appearance.
Yeah. They are
They're
happy how they are.
Well, now regarding the academic life, that was your main purpose by going to Jamaica to increase your knowledge. Do you find any differences between Colombian and Jamaican academic life?
Definitely, the differences are
Huge.
this big. Yeah, because the way we study here is, for me now, after all that happened there, is so easy. So easy, the grades are different, the teachers being native people, they are like expecting more of you being an international student, and like coming from Colombia, that is Like there is considered one of the most important countries in Latin America, because many things that they know about Colombia, yeah, like our desire for sports, our music, so they are expecting a lot of from you.
So like they want you to demonstrate why you were
Yes.
to be there.
So the first classes were hard because we had to read a lot of books. We were supposed to take 5 classes, but because of the difficulty, we dropped one class that was prose fiction. So we were studying, we were reading Caribbean literature and Caribbean books, so that was hard because it's not our kind of books. The grades, they don't care about the participation of the students. If you talk and talk and talk in classes, that's nothing, because what you have to do is to put all your knowledge or your ideas and opinions in 2 hours on a paper. Yeah, that was like in April, May, the first week of May. That was the examination week.
The most stressful week?
Yes, the most stressful week. Here in the University of Tolima, I never made use of the library as I did there, because we were studying from 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. We were learning things by heart in French, because we took French. And we were learning French in English, that is our second language, and we were learning a third language. So that was hard. What else? The presentations. They are very, very demanded and very strict with the time, with the management of time, because we had 10 minutes of our poetry presentation, and I was explaining about the author and the
characteristics.
Yes, and they were like, no, I'm not asking for the characters.
You have to go
yes,
straight to the point. But Colombian people tend to do that, to go around things and
yes,
they don't explain the exact thing.
We talk a lot, but we
so
didn't.
talkative.
Yeah, yes. They are, accurate.
Very accurate.
Yes. So I had 10 minutes, but when the teacher, hey, your time is over.
And that's it.
Yes, and I was like, oh my gosh.
But he was
I didn't talk about this. And my grade was so low. So that was hard. Probably, the academic life in UWI is different. Probably because I lived in the university, in the campus, so all the time I was with my friends, and at the same time I was doing homework. So the academic life was a mixture, yes. But here I just study there and I do my homework at home. So that's why, everything came and created a new environment.
Now can you suggest some ways a student could take advantage of this agreement with UWI?
Yes. Well, some advice that I want to give you guys, or I want to give to the people if they have the opportunity to study at UWI, that is an amazing university. I think that is one of the most important universities in the Caribbean.
Yes.
Is that Jamaica in general is heaven, is party, is
a different word.
Yes, it's a different word. If you want to get loose, you can do it. If you want to study, you can do it. So, but you have to remember that you go there with a purpose. That is, study, and study hard. All the parties and all the customs that they have, for example, smoking weed every day, drinking alcohol, rum, because they love rum.
Those things can distract you from study.
If you have a weak mind, a weak brain, and you are not you don't have auto-control, you can oh my god, they can destroy you, because Jamaicans are crazy, they are crazy. So there are parties every single weekend, so you have to manage your time. First, your homework. That's an advice, guys. First, your homework, because trust me, the first 2 months, you say, oh no, studying here is so easy. But at the end, you're going to kill yourself studying at the library and anywhere. Another advice is to buy your own car, Jamaican car, in your cell phone, because you will need it. You
to keep contact with
with
your
your
family.
friends. Jamaica is dangerous, and being like a foreigner is more danger. There is more danger
Because of the
crime. Yeah.
And also, well, I know that they also have quite discrimination for white people.
Yes. Oh yes, that's another thing. We think that being black is just being racist, but we don't discriminate people just because they are black. Black people also discriminate white people. For example, we faced discrimination sometimes in classes and in Kingston, the main city. So you have to be easygoing, with all the comments, open-minded. Yeah, it's so normal. You have to love your color, you have to love your culture. If they say something to you, okay.
It's the same as here.
Yes.
Some people try to discriminate black ones, but
Yes.
there it's
Yes.
the other way.
Yes, and you have to be aware that you are not in your country. You are in Jamaica. You have to respect their culture. Yes. So if they say something to you, you have to follow their rules. No, I don't want to. No, you have to, because you are not in your place. What else? Language, study a lot, learn every single day, make good friends.
Just take advantage of that great opportunity.
It's not just making friends just because. You have to, not only in classes, but also people from the faculties, people from all the programs. Yeah, the strong people who is going to help you in the future. So that's the last advice. Make good friends and enjoy life.
Okay, and could you mention 3 words to summarize that whole experience that you had in Jamaica?
Okay, I think that the words would be colorful.
Colorful?
Because of all the landscapes, the beaches, the sea, so colorful, happiness, because they are always smiling and having fun in their own way, but they are having fun.
And the last one?
And blackness.
Blackness,
because it's not because I am a racist, but also because I think that I have a black inside me. Because black, they have power, they have flavor, they have
the feeling.
The feeling that they transmit to the other people is nice. So blackness, colorful, and happiness.
Okay, thank you so much, Felipe, for being here, sharing that important aspects. I think that could be really good for the future students that will apply to this agreement next year. We know that it's also...
Yeah, each year our university is going to
ask for more students to come.
Yes. So apply to the exchange program. That is an amazing experience. You are not going to forget anything.
Okay, thank you. So that's all today. Well, I'm Maria Fernanda reporting to D News. Thank you for watching us. Don't forget we have another section. And we came back to the studio with Lina and Laura.
This is a really good news for the students because they now can take advantage of the UE agreement. Go to a restaurant, you have to make long lines to have lunch. Yes, Laura, and most of the time you have to wait because the people don't give me the opportunity to pass by, so I have to wait. But anyway, you have the opportunity to have lunch, right? Yes, of course, every day. This is not the case of the students of the Universidad de Tolima because they have to make long lines, but anyway, they cannot have lunch there.
Now we are observing the precise moment when the students of the University of Tolima arrive to the restaurant to attempt to have lunch. Here we can see how the number of people increases as the time goes by.
and how the pressure and anxiety grows up when the students look around them and find out that every second means that around 10 or 20 people are also arriving to this place, ready to fight and do as much as they can to get their lunch. When the clock marks 12 o'clock, every student starts to look for the monitors that will raise their hands, indicating that the line must be done in front of them. But that is the instant when students try to be at the front or between the first 30 people in the line, due to the fact that not every single student that makes the line for about an hour and a half has the guarantee of eating at the restaurant for the minimum amount of 850 pesos. When the lines are made, there are some students that just wait until their turn comes, but there are others that do not want to make the line in a legal way, but they stay there and wait for the opportunity to pass before their partners, and they slip into the first places of the row, which is an act that has to be faced by the monitors, but sometimes when they do not see who is slipping into the rows, the students must go and report this situation. Then the monitors will need to deal and find a way to arrive to an agreement or the consequences for the students that is not respecting the way of accessing to the restaurant. Most of the times they are punished and they cannot have access for 1 to a whole week. The food that is served in this place is such good in quality and quantity, not only making reference to the amount of food, but to the price that is paid. 850 pesos per person, it's a bargain that must be exploited by students. Otherwise, they will have to go outside and find a place to eat. Commonly on restaurants that are outside the university, but where they will need to make an effort and spend a higher amount of money to eat. That is around 5,000 or 6,000 pesos, which may affect their budget for the rest of the week. By the end of the service, around 1:30 p.m., the restaurant starts getting empty with 1,000 students that had the chance to access. But every day, there are around 400 students that make the line, or the ones that decide to go away when they see that the service is coming to an end, and go outside to eat something before classes start.
Yes, Lena, it is, because sometimes you have to spend a lot of money out of the university to have lunch. That's all for today. Thank you for watching G News. See you in the next section. Begins in the U.S., we are bringing you some inspiring words from African American leaders.
Time to shout out. Black History Month is in February because it's close to the birthdays of what two people? If you know the answer, shout out. President Lincoln was born in February, and it's believed that Frederick Douglass was too. That's when Black History Month is celebrated. That's your answer, and that's your shout out. The words of abolitionist Harry Stockman. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars to change the world. And from civil rights leader Martin Luther King, darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that.
Of the Amazonia. He gives an humanistic point of view. Next, a terrible... no.
Okay, now can you suggest some ways a student could take advantage of this agreement with the union? Okay, now can you suggest some ways a student could take advantage of this agreement with the
Persecution, the characters they were following disappeared. With no reason. This happened in Garden City, Georgia, USA.
No, que se nos apague. Pero es que se escaló. Last week, the student of the University of Tolima, Universidad de Tolima, the student of the Universidad de Tolima,
Corte.
this is the case of Felipe Cifuentes, who had an amazing experience in Jamaica. Who had an amazing... Otra vez, por favor. Your restaurant, you have to make long lines to have lunch.
Yes, Laura, sometimes I have to wait one of the time because there are many people there that maybe don't give me the opportunity to pass fast to lunch. So I have to wait.
But anyway, you have lunch, right?
Yes, yes, of course.
The case of university. This is not the case of this.
Yes, in the US, we are bringing you some inspiring words from American leaders, African American leaders. Yes, in the US, we are bringing some inspiring words from American.
Again.
No, that's a situation. That's it, Laura?
Yes, it is.
Just a second.
And this is now for today. That's all for today.
The question is, what is a phenomenon?
Okay, that's so interesting. So now we will... we will know now. Okay, that's so interesting. Just now we... Let's read it. Hi.
It's for you.
Okay, now...